what's back on the menu?
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys!
Fantasy. Between The Witcher, the D&D movie Rings of Power and the Wheel of Time, fantasy is making a comeback, and with it, your classic fantasy soundtracks. But as you can imagine, the stories come in all shapes and forms, and Slavic folklore's unique charm cannot be underrated. Traditional Slavic instruments can raise eyebrows because of their sound and names. Let's have a look at 10 of the craziest Slavic instruments and how some of them are appearing on our TVs. Gusli is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, East Slavic multi-string plucked instrument belonging to the zither family, known since the 9th century. Now, traditionally, a gusli has from 5 to 60 strings, depending on its type and sound, which can immediately teleport you into a magical forest, as mentioned in many Slavic fairy tales. You can easily imagine a bard playing gusli when telling their legends, or maybe even hobbits. In a Russian 1952 film, Sadko, the main character, is a gusli player. Balalaika is a Russian string instrument developed in the 18th century. Now, it has a flat back and a triangle table or belly, which tapers to a fretted neck, and the 3 strings can either be plucked with their fingers, or if they are metal, with a leather plectrum. Now, it was used in a 1939 movie called Balalaika.
Who knows what ecstasy tonight may bring? What lovely melody my heart may sing.
Treshchotka is another instrument from Russia with a unique sound. So it's supposed to imitate cracking and hand clapping and is popular in Russian folk music. Apparently, remains of a 12th century Treshchotka were found in Novgorod's archaeological dig site. Treshchotka is made of a set numbering 10 to 30 thin planks, and these planks are tightly held by a tough string that is threaded through the hole at the top of each plank, and that's how you play it. System of a Down Serge Tankian used Slavic instruments like Treshchotka for his score in 2017 the Russian epic period action film Furious, Legend of Kolovrat.
Don't cross the bridge till you come to it.
Let's fight!
Alright, it's a weird one. It takes 2 to play a Burczybas, an instrument from Kaszubę, it's a Polish region. So one holds it while the other makes the sound. It's a drum which you don't hit, but pull by its wet tail. There is a strip of horse hair attached to the drum's bottom, which one can pull to make the instrument speak. Now it provides an accompaniment for traditional singers. I couldn't find any movie clips with Burczybas, but there are some videos on YouTube about it. Gajdy is a Polish bagpipes. There are, different types of this instrument, but the one we can watch here is made of a leather bag with bristles, blow sticks, and a chanter. You play it by holding it under your left arm, using both hands to cover the chanter's holes. Now, bagpipes are, of course, often used in films as Celtic music. Braveheart. But even in the latest June for the Atreides house. Devil's Fiddle or Diabelskie Skrzypce is another Polish folk instrument. Its name is not the only weird thing about it. The way it looks, the way it's played is also quite weird. So it usually has 1 to 3 strings that can be pulled to make a sound. Shape of a long violin with a devil's head wearing a hat. You can play it by hitting the instrument with a notched rod to create a rhythm, but you can also knock it on the floor with it for the same purpose. So the Slavic countries are mostly located in Eastern Europe and Western Asia, whose majority populations identify with Slavic culture and traditions and speak Slavic languages such as Polish, Russian and Ukrainian. Slavic countries make up about 50% of the continent of Europe, and our history dates back to between the 5th century and the 10th century, depending where you look, with being spread over such a big land and having a rich historical background. Slavic peoples greatly contributed to the world of music with their unique, one-of-a-kind instruments. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any of these crazy instruments at home. The only weird one I got is this one. Okay, let's get back to it. Zhaleika is a Slavic wind instrument, mostly used in Belarusian, Russian and sometimes Ukrainian ethnic music. So it's a wind instrument. A wooden pipe, which is about 10 to 20 centimeters long with 3 to 7 finger holes. The reed is made out of either cane or goose feathers, and the bell, which is made out of cow horn or birch bark. It's a hornpipe. When played by unskilled hands, the Suka, or bitch, in Polish, gives unpleasant animal howls. So it's a Polish violin with a knee position and played with the fingers between the strings. The pitch of the tones can be altered by touching them with your fingernails. Kalyuka is a Russian-Ukrainian instrument. It's an overtone flute lacking playing holes, made from hollow plant stems such as motherwood or Zhaleika. So Kalyuka was played on summer evenings after the hay harvest. Last but not least, Hurdy-Gurdy. The Hurdy-Gurdy tradition is well developed, particularly in Hungary, Poland and Belarus, Ukraine as well. There are many variations of this instrument in different Slavic countries, and it's a very common instrument in Slavic folk music. The Hurdy-Gurdy is generally thought to have originated from fiddles in either Europe or the Middle East sometime before the 11th century. A stringed musical instrument that produces sound by turning a crank that rotates, a wheel which then rubs against the strings. Most Hurdy-Gurdy have multiple drawn strings which give a constant pitch, accompaniment to the melody, resulting in a sound, I guess, similar to that of bagpipes. And this instrument has been getting a lot of recognition recently thanks to the Witcher games and later the Netflix series. And here's Led Zeppelin's Jimmy Page playing Hurdy-Gurdy in 1976. The song remains the same. Alright, I know we don't get triggered as easily, but I hope I didn't offend any of the fellow Slavs with calling any of the instruments as belonging to a certain nation, right? There are so many variations of each instrument one can list, and I'm pretty sure each country has their own unique take on how each instrument should look and sound and be played, right? But we all have the same goal: to make good music for people to enjoy. And I'm glad filmmakers aren't scared of using these instruments in their work and not automatically defaulting to the classical, softer fantasy tunes. But yeah, that's it for now. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.